Welcome to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast, episode 74. My name's Tony B. Alongside me, as usual, is David B. and Timmy D. Today's topics: supply chain disruption. There's a rail embargo we'll discuss, and the economy is slowing down a bit. We're just three Americans discussing the topics that affect the transportation industry. Our views, the views of us three, are purely news-driven and do not express the views of any transportation provider or any business entity that uses any transportation provider. Timmy D, what do we do it for, man?
Transportainment.
Boom. That's right. Transportainment. You can catch us on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Google Podcast, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and our home website, ShipsGonnaHappen.com too. All you have to do is Google us in the search engine and you will find us. David B., good morning.
Good morning good morning to the both of you guys. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, a little cooler than it's been, which is nice for me. I like the cooler weather. Thanks again to Bartok for being our intro music. They gave us permission to use their songs when we like to in our show. So check them out on all of those platforms. Also, this morning's show is brought to you by The Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indianapolis. Great place to go and unwind after a Ship's Gonna Happen week. Chat it up with the locals, get a good meal, hear some good music, and it's just a nice little hole-in-the-wall place to go. And The Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indianapolis. Timmy D, how are you this morning, sir?
What's going on? Good morning, David B. Tony B, what's up?
Good morning, brother.
I'll tell you what, beautiful weekend. Weather's setting up real nice like. And was it opening day for the Indiana State Fair out yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
I saw the balloons. The balloons were up this morning, and as I was coming through Indy, so that was a nice
It's a good time.
air balloons.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for bringing that up, Tim.
We need to figure out, maybe we'll bring that up in your random thoughts and figure out what the craziest new food fair item is, right? What they do, like
I've never been.
deep fried Twinkies one year.
Yeah.
So, anyways, good, not quite August. Last episode of July.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
What is
good
this,
call, yeah.
30th of July now?
It is, yes.
Wow.
It's the 30th, August
My
1st on
goodness.
Monday.
Booking by.
But we got some interesting topics. Those titles are those titles that Tony said you're going to see a whole different spin to them, probably because it's not what you're trying to think about that we normally talk about within those topics. So excited to discuss those with these guys. And that's it, man.
Transportainment's why we do it. So, David B., you want to kick us off here with, let's see, let's get into topic number 1.
All right. So, like Tim mentioned, we're going to talk about some topics, but not necessarily with the trucking aspect of it, at least on the first one. So we're going to go over the top 5 disruptive events so far in 2022 that are weighing into the supply chain are factory fires, mergers and acquisitions, the sale of businesses, leadership transitions, and other factory disruptions. Factory fires are up 131% year over year, putting 2022 on track to be the most fires ever reported.
What?
In factories. Yeah. So this story, before I go any further, is compliments of DC Velocity.
Insurance claims.
Probably. Which DC Velocity is a very reputable entity.
Yeah, and I apologize for not mentioning it at the beginning, but that's where this article is coming from. Geopolitical events continue to drive supply chain disruptions as well, rising more than 500% year over year. The Russian-Ukraine war was the top disruptor in the first half of the year, due to primary sanctions of production and shutdowns that are driving unprecedented commodity and raw material shortages. So normally we just talk about the transportation disruptions, but today we're bringing up something a little bit different, talking about other disruptions.
So what are they again? Hit them real quick again, the 5.
My apologies.
Yeah.
Factory fires, mergers and acquisitions, the sale of business, leadership transitions, and other factory disruptions, but it doesn't specify what those disruptions are.
The fire thing, I would have never thought of, but the Walmart DC had that huge fire that they didn't rebuild that thing, right?
Good point.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, that, again, back to the insurance, or is it because they just built another one that was only, 27 miles away that's even bigger than that one? I'm not putting it out there for the fire marshals. I'm just telling you that, it's kind of convenient that the other one opened the next week. That one kind of went up in flames, and they're not rebuilding it, from my understanding.
Right.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Factory fires are up 131% year over year. So
with all the regulations out there, with OSHA
safety,
and the safety, and
you would think there'd never be a fire started in a factory.
No.
it says so far this year there's been nearly 8,000 disruptive events that have damaged the supply chain, and again this is in addition to the moving
already
the product and stuff. Which is
everything else in the industry with the driver shortages and capacity issues and all that.
Wow, man, I would have never thought that.
I wouldn't have either.
It's interesting.
So, but think about that. Let's talk about the Walmart. I mean, how many hundreds of millions of pounds of cardboard box and toys is sitting from floor to ceiling inside of a 2 million square foot warehouse, right? You get one, it's going to be lightning. It's just going to roll.
Did they ever find out what started that thing?
I don't.
Was it a machine or something? They said or something.
I'm not sure.
Probably somebody with a cigarette. I'm just saying. Just tossed it right on the floor. The boss was coming.
Yeah, you can smoke in here today, man. That's cool.
Forklift backfired.
Forklift backfired. Propane.
Well,
propane fart.
I don't know. I have not heard. That's one that they have not. Dang. At least even on the local news, they haven't said. But you think about how we store goods. You don't have to have hazardous. You think those kind of fires, hazardous materials and things like that. But everything inside of those, with
batteries, everything, man.
And who knows? It could have just been a hot coal from China that just happened to make it all the way over. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Fire-breathing ant. I got out of the box.
The monkeypox was inside. I don't know.
Speaking of that, one time there was a company in Greenfield, way out in the country. He actually made military shooting targets for the military.
Nice.
Yeah, so he had a nice place way out in the country. So he had just gotten a container of steel in, and so he opened it up, and I saw the weirdest looking bug crawl out of this thing. We all jumped back and went, holy shit, what is that? And it was the weirdest. So anyways, we looked this thing up, and he figures it out. It was some kind of I forget what they call it, but it was a cool looking color. But if it like bit us, it wouldn't kill us. But if it would bite like a cow, like it could take down a cow.
Really?
Yeah. So he had to call the people, and they came out, and there were like 4 or 5 of them in this container.
Well, that's believe it or not, part of the I wouldn't say border patrol, but the people at the airports and stuff, when they're searching all the food,
right?
There's huge regulations because they don't want you to introduce a new species in the United States. And we're huge on that. People get hit all the time. Like, no, you can't bring it in because that apple may have this special ant that there's no way to mess up our ecosystem. Right. So that is just as big as finding drugs and smugglers. You know what I mean? So that people, I think the average American out there doesn't realize that that's probably a lot of what they do is the agricultural division is trying to contain
plants. Like certain states don't allow certain plants. Like try to import something into Hawaii. Hawaii's big on no exotic animals. Mm-hmm. Like you can't buy a snake. You
can't do that to Exotic Joe. Exotic Joe?
Yeah. You can't even watch that show there.
No Tiger King allowed.
Yeah, no Tiger King allowed. But some states have weird stuff like that. That's just something you wouldn't, the fire in the plant. I'd have never thought about that.
Yeah.
It's disruption.
I mean, because we've had it here locally. What was the second one on that? I thought that was...
I don't.
You've already moved on.
Yeah. Well, sorry. I'm actually looking for to see if they announced what the cause of, and I'm not
that fire
I'm not
at
finding,
Walmart. Yeah.
Oh, the Walmart fire.
So I guess
mergers and acquisitions.
Well, that was
most ever.
Well,
in the last couple of years,
we talk about it all the time. Or you talk about the big fish always doing that, but how many smaller companies end up with a warehouse fire instead of rebuild, take the insurance check, sell off their business to someone else because that business has got to continue. Mm-hmm. You've already figured it out. You're still making money. Why would I? Okay, here, just keep them on. You know.
Yeah.
But we just had is it not Landstar? There's another trucking company last week or 2 weeks ago that just got swallowed up.
I thought it was Landstar.
Was it Landstar?
Yeah,
that sounds right. I just know another trucking company once again. So acquisitions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was the most when we were talking about this going back to the pandemic. Tim, you're right. It was, or I think I said that, but you bring it back up is there were the most buyouts, I think, in the last 2 years than in our history.
It's incredible.
And we just didn't notice a lot of them.
Yep. Well, then you got companies like C.H. Robinson who just recorded the record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Schneider, $1.2 billion second quarter revenue.
How
Really?
much?
Yeah.
Schneider?
$1.2 billion revenue
smokes.
in the second quarter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Revenue.
Yep.
It's almost as much as that Mega Millions.
Right. Did somebody win that?
So I just got hit with the article on the way over. I actually have it up here on my phone. Des Plaines, Illinois.
That's where I grew up.
Des Plaines, Illinois.
Mm.
At the old Speedway gas station. Check your tickets if you bought in Des Plaines at Speedway gas station. Store number 4250.
Thank you, Timmy.
Do you still have family over that way?
No, I have nobody that lives there.
Maybe you have a cousin. I'm pretty sure you have a cousin.
You got to have a cousin because it could be the winner.
Maybe a distant cousin, but you have a cousin over there.
Send me my
So there's only one person won it?
That's what it's saying.
That's
It
incredible.
just reported like an hour ago.
They would not find me. I would get a lawyer to go claim.
So this was on the news last
Can you do
night
that?
about.
Yeah, you can.
Every state is
yeah.
different. Some states say
Yeah,
you must
right.
announce who you are. Some say you some say you must hire an attorney. Some say you can go anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
Very unique perspectives on that.
I think Indiana, you can do either or, right?
Indiana's pretty open, but
Yeah.
like Baltimore or Maryland, you have to announce
Who you
what
are.
it is. And the reason being is you have so many public figures.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in America will want to know if Hunter Biden hit the Mega Millions
Oh, yeah.
to find out corruption.
Oh.
So it's a very interesting,
I never thought of that.
Never thought about
Virginia's the same way. You got to announce because there's a lot of
that. Makes sense.
political figures out there. You want to make sure it's not corrupt, right? It's run by it's a state lottery at the end of the day or federal lottery.
So I think what David's telling us is all of a sudden David would be mysteriously gone on the Ship's Gonna Happen.
No.
Timmy D and Tony.
No. I would still do this.
he'd have like
this I would do.
he would have burner phones. Call me in.
Costumes and stuff.
I might
Incognito.
be calling in from and then the location, but I would definitely still want to do
That's
this.
hilarious.
What would you do?
I'd say Tracy got transferred to wherever.
Oh yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah.
Idaho.
I mean,
Carol Baskins. Hire Carol Baskins.
you know what? Let's go around. You know what I would do? I think the first thing I would do is hire a lawyer, and I wouldn't show up to get that money.
Yeah.
Wouldn't get that money at all. And
No.
that money.
And I almost would want to wait till you wouldn't want to do it like next day, maybe a few months out, or where it's been kind of
The hype is gone.
Yeah, like do it at 4
Dude,
p.m.
it
on
would
a
be-
Friday.
But
when
what would you
nobody's
do
gonna
at
be
the
paying
ticket?
attention. I
For
don't know.
24 hours, wouldn't you be?
Not 24 hours. You would, yeah. Something would have to be done with that thing.
Dude.
But you give it to the lawyer. That's
Yeah,
what you
give
do.
it to the lawyer.
Give it to the lawyer. Just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Would you hire a lawyer to protect you, or would you hire a financial advisor first?
Financial lawyer, a tax attorney type lawyer. Yeah.
So I read that. So I think it was 2018 was the largest Mega Millions for $1.568 billion or something
Okay.
like that. The person decided to take a lump sum.
Okay.
After taxes, they only ended up with $491
Yeah,
million.
That's
Right.
bullshit.
Okay, so everyone thinks, oh, it was 491.
It's kind of
No,
a scam.
that means they took over $1 billion from you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you take the payout options on this one, I guess you end up with like 700 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're only taking 500 million
Take
from you.
out taxes though.
Well, that's taking out taxes
that
because
is the-
1.3 was the estimated pot. So,
Right.
But you got to pay taxes on that money though.
But that is
after taxes. But if you don't do lump sum, you do yearly, the 30-year payments or whatever.
You're not going to make it that
You're
long.
only going to end up with 790 million.
But then you could will that to whoever.
Oh, you can. I
would
thought you could.
assume.
I didn't think
would
it's your
assume.
money, yeah.
I didn't think you could. I think it pays till you die.
So
It's
if you don't
your
live
money.
for 30 years, you're done.
I believe so.
I
So
bet
do
you
I
could.
have to get J.W. Wentworth involved in this?
JW.
Because it's my money.
That's funny. That's a good one. That's a good one. On the bus. Hey, JD. You know, let me look it up because I think it just pays us. It wouldn't pay like I don't think.
Let's go to a random thought, David B. What's the first big purchase you would make?
A home in West Virginia.
A home in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
You just didn't play the Hoosier lottery then.
A vacation home in West Virginia.
Okay. You guys are right.
Home.
If a jackpot winner dies before receiving all annual installments, the balance of the prize will be paid to the winner's estate.
What were we? We were right.
You were right. You were right.
Tony B, what's the first thing you'd buy? A big purchase.
Oh, man. I probably would buy a house on the beach.
What about you, Timmy D?
I don't know.
That's a good answer.
I have everything I need with you guys in my life. I don't know if I'd buy anything else.
You got all you need.
I'd buy a Ship's Gonna Happen studio.
There you go. Ship's Gonna Happen. I'd probably buy a house, maybe, just to get away. So then you could get away. And
when you say beach, do you exclusively mean Florida? Or
oh, yeah, absolutely. I love the Gulf Coast. I'd be in Naples or Fort Myers probably for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably do I like Clearwater. I ain't mad at that. I don't know. I'd definitely take at least. So let's say I took the payments and say the payments on that kind of payout's probably $30 million a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Or I would buy a house next to Nancy Pelosi in Key West, Florida.
Don't. Oh my Lord.
No, go ahead. I see.
That's a $25 million house, man. Right. Yep. Boom. Hey, Nancy, I'm your neighbor girl. What's up?
Right.
Don't travel with her to Taiwan, I heard, but
right.
Yeah. Warships en route.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good. I don't know what I would do. I definitely have to be put on a
Well, you probably take care of your mom or dad, right? You probably would you want to do that? Would you want to?
What did they earn? They could have got a ticket too.
Yeah. What have they done for me?
You probably would want to.
I'll buy my dad a new set of golf clubs and some golf lessons.
I'll take you out.
Yeah.
I'll buy my mom. My mom would want a house on the beach. I'd probably do that.
It would be. It's nice to think about what if stuff,
It is.
And then Monday I'll be right back at work.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I know.
Could you imagine sitting at work for
what
X
would
amount
you
of
do
months
though?
being like,
what would you do? What would you do with work?
Again.
Would you give it 2 weeks notice?
Again, no. Well, I would want to get all of my ducks in a row and still go to work every day.
Absolutely.
And then again, you're trying to keep it quiet and be like, but in your head, you're like, F this place,
Well, I'd be like, I'll give you a half year notice. Just call me if you need anything.
No. No.
You can call me for half a year.
I don't want to. I wouldn't want to see. No offense. I wouldn't want to see any of those people ever again. I just, no. Not that I
would ride
like
the pony
them.
until I got paid.
Right.
Yeah.
When I paid, then I'd make a phone call. And
would you move?
When I move out of here, I'd probably own a couple houses wherever,
Mm-hmm. I think Michigan would be another nice state to have.
Oh yeah, up on Lake Michigan,
northern Michigan.
Okay, northern. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just thinking out
That's
loud.
like the wild land.
Yeah, I'd probably hire me a driver to take me wherever the hell I want.
Oh, amen to that.
You got kids for that. Yeah. You ain't getting your inheritance until you drive me around.
Yeah.
Boom.
There we go.
You got options till you die. Because you got your little boy can drive you when you're older.
Yeah.
It is nice to think about that though.
No, they need to go.
Would do.
They can go work at a grocery store. I don't care. They can get nothing.
Timmy D's grocery store. No, that's good to think about. Congratulations to that person, though. That's got to be,
Tony's third cousin in Des Plaines,
Illinois.
It might be my cousin. I'm interested. If you need family, holler at me.
I think I'm related to that guy or girl.
You are now.
You can pay me off for easy $10,000.
Thanks for bringing that up, Tim. That's I guess
that's a hot topic out there.
I can throw my tickets out.
Oh, there you go. You got to check them though. Maybe you won.
No, I know. A couple thousand. You never know.
Do you do that? No, I'm not a big gambler. So do you do that on your phone or how do you?
Yeah, I scan them on the phone.
Okay. Oh, you can scan them on the phone?
Yeah, there's a scan. There's a
QR code thing.
Yeah,
the Indiana lottery.
So I just I looked them up last night. So I only bought 2 tickets.
There it is.
One of them was I had lunch at a Chinese restaurant. I used the numbers off the fortune cookie.
Oh, you did?
100%.
Dang
it worked out well that the last number was low enough to be the Mega Million ball number or whatever.
Oh, wow.
So I just played all those numbers and why not? Why not? You never know, man. Cool. You never know.
So does everybody buy those at gas stations? Is that the main place to get a lottery ticket?
Oh, yeah.
Or the only place?
Liquor store.
Okay. Liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
gas station. You can get them at the grocery store too.
Liquor.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
The grocery.
Meijer, you can get them. Walmart and the
liquor store.
customer services area.
Tim caught it.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Liquor store, nothing. Let's move on.
Man. Got us all excited. We're all frustrated now. We're, you know.
I didn't win.
Sounds
Son of a
like-
gun.
But you could have won some money. I was reading the back of those tickets. I didn't realize.
But I'm not going to play unless it's X amount of millions, right? You get those people.
Yeah,
They'll say,
I play it all the
That's
time.
not high enough.
Bullshit.
I saw Indiana's got a new one, like the Cash 5 or something, daily drawing. It's up to like,
$500,000.
yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
A lot more legit.
I've played it a couple times. I've never won anything, but
Is it a random pick 5? Is that what it is?
every day. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Every
minute.
day.
Was it
Until
a
somebody
dollar
wins it.
ticket?
Yeah, it is a $1 ticket.
So $5 a day.
So that would be, so that is 500 grand, and then you X amount out on taxes. That's just retirement. That's what you would do with that. Put it in your retirement.
You would invest
account.
that.
Yeah.
You could buy some good stock with it. I mean,
Yep. Just get you
You could
closer to
set yourself
retirement.
up pretty good.
Absolutely.
I think.
Yeah.
or you could just pay everything off that you owe on and then
There it
Is
is.
that.
take the bail.
Cash 5.
I'm interested in that. And the thing is, it's only Indiana, right? So
Right.
your odds,
So
I
you-
guess the odds are the same, but you have less people playing.
Do you play from your phone?
You can't yet. You can play from your phone to give it to the gas station. They can scan your playlist.
Oh,
Or-
okay.
They call it
There's
playlist.
there's no way to play. You
No,
cannot
not
buy
yet.
a random 5.
No.
Okay. All
But
right.
you can do your own, pick your own numbers and put them in here and stuff.
Mhm.
I've not done that, but I've seen people that do that. They go up there and they they scan it. And it
Would you go back and pay that gas attendant some money?
I think
Whoever-
that's a great question.
I always said I
would.
remember you.
Absolutely. I
Yes,
would.
but when nobody else is around, though,
Right.
Just kind of.
I just have a limo come pick them up one day.
Here's
Boom, boom,
$100
boom,
grand.
boom.
Here's
Here's your new
$100
fucking
grand.
house.
No, I wouldn't buy them. I'd give them $100,000.
Billion?
100 grand.
They get $100,000.
A
That's all they get.
billion?
On $1 billion, that's all they get. Absolutely.
That's fair. Probably more
Wow.
than
They
fair.
didn't pick the tickets.
Yeah.
I know, but their finger hit that special little
Well,
finger.
then you might as well cut off their hand
Well,
like it's a
You use
like
your
it's a
special
rabbit's
little
foot.
finger.
Put it on your keychain.
I put it on your keychain. Hey, I'm going to need your finger, by the way. Oh,
Yeah.
It's gonna be a rabbit's
I'm
foot
going
on
to
my
get you a
keychain.
new one, though.
Right.
Would you not touch everything with that same
Because
finger?
again, you wouldn't want all the media hype around that. You wouldn't want all the media going, oh, look, Timmy D's buying, giving the button pusher $100,000 or
And
whatever.
then I give my family absolutely nothing.
And then Timmy
Right.
D would have that finger and come on, kids, he's coaching a team. Kids, touch the finger.
Yeah,
touch the finger for good luck.
there'd be a family get together, and Timmy D would bring over hot dogs and buns or whatever.
No.
instead of-
Guacamole's what he's bringing.
and go.
I could have spun the whole finger thing a whole different way. I don't think this is a family show.
When
It's
is
just going to
that?
happen.
When is the guacamole?
2 weeks from yesterday, it is Friday, August the 12th at noon. If you're going to participate, please make sure that you have your guacamole at the Great Divide no later than 11:45. You don't want to. Everything starts at noon, so you don't want to miss out on getting judged. You could bring it later, but you're just going to get missed out on
I
an
won't even
hour's
bring
worth
mine
of
till
judging.
3. I don't need all the votes.
Just bring it to the end. Wasn't I heard? Didn't Chris say that they finish usually second, but it wasn't going to happen this year?
Right. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
He was emphatic on who normally finishes second and who normally finishes last. So
But I think I did hear him interject. He ain't finishing second this year.
that's what they say.
Ooh,
So,
Timmy D.
That's what they say.
Is he talking about
So-
fourth place again?
Yeah. So we're doing this for the Indiana Blind Children's Foundation. It's Friday, August the 12th at the Great Divide, 743 East New York Street in Indy. Come on by if you're not going to participate. Spend $5 to vote. It goes for a good cause, and it's going to be a really good day. So this should be our biggest one ever.
Yeah.
So
And
let's
Timmy
hope
D
so.
brought a sample in here, and it got devoured, man.
Yeah. Yep.
It was pretty
That's
good.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
So soon on our website, Timmy D's guacamole in a bottle, right? For $9.95.
That's good.
All right. Sorry to get you guys off topic there. I told you guys
No,
kind
it's
of going
good
to be
stuff,
random. We
man.
were going to
All
talk
good.
about
It's
real
all
life
good.
within the
Good
topics.
stuff.
So.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on to
Did you have anything else to say about
Yeah, anything else?
I'm
We'll wrap
good.
that up?
No, yeah, I'm good with
Rail
with,
embargo?
Yeah, we can do that.
Hang on.
So yeah,
Is that's you, Tony, right?
No, I didn't have that.
Oh,
but I can
David
talk
B's
about
leading them
David B's
all
got
off.
I'm
that.
going to
All
start
right.
with this one.
David B's rail embargo. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. David B.
So I didn't even know there was a rail embargo going on, but there is a rail embargo. BNSF has an embargo that's going to last into August or towards the end of August because of all the influx in business that they're going. The embargo of many westbound shipments to California was announced last month in a bid to lower congestion that has caused delays in the railroad and for shippers. Before I go any further, the story is compliments of the supply chain drive, and the article is from the 27th. So we are taking that article from them, and they say BNFS goes on to say that they enter their next phase of service recovery from the few years long pandemic, and they're still trying to work themselves out of that. And to do so, to get caught up, they've got to put an embargo in place, going westbound into California until the end of August. So
It's huge.
it is huge.
I mean, yeah, that is
Kind of in a different related story, reading this story, and then there was a story after this, kind of pontificating that what if the railroad ever went on strike, and how bad it would shut down just the U.S. economy. It would just, I don't think people realize how important the railroad is to move and everything.
It's the backbone.
It moves 40% of our goods.
It's the backbone.
Yeah.
You can't survive without it.
Yeah. And the last time there was a railroad strike was in 1877. And at that time, there wasn't a union. They just walked off the job because their wages had been cut 3 months consecutively. And they're like, well, we're done. And I don't think it lasted very long, but.
Well, I saw some, they were had the news where they already had some of the people kind of, I wouldn't say, I hate to use the word strike, but they had them outside with signs and wanted negotiations for the ports, which has to do with a little bit. I mean, all those unions are so connected, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they support each other.
So, but 40%, but at least, I don't know. I hate to say this, but I have to. At least they're trying to correct their service issue.
Sure.
Right. Everyone knows in the industry, when it hits the rail, you're screwed. Mm-hmm. Period. You're stuck with what service you get in a conversation. Mm-hmm. It's too efficient, cost efficient, both fuel wise, money wise, and time wise to move things across the rail, especially in bulk.
Yeah.
And so for them to do that, is that they're not shutting down lines. They're just refusing to do additional business, basically, is what they're doing, right? So they've had these embargoes in place and they're just continuing it on. And I don't know how they do that because they're basically eliminating you going out to California, not from California inward.
Right.
So does that mean they're selling their capacity going back out to move their cars that way? I don't know how all that works. I don't know much about the rail. That's one thing I'm not highly educated on a lot of items.
That's a great question,
to be frank with you. But the rail's always fascinating. I know BNSF is big out of Chicago. I feel like Texas, like Houston and Dallas, is pretty big. And obviously the West Coast. So,
well, here's all the stuff it's a good point, Tim, because here's all their stuff on their website. Like there's like agriculture stuff. They're not hauling military stuff. This embargo applies to all commodities that are being shipped to destinations in California from Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Iowa, Illinois, Kansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Texas.
You sound like the Micro Machine commercial back in the early 90s.
Yeah. Remember that guy? Just talked real fast. The Micro Machine guy.
All the disclosures at the end.
Yeah.
No, I just remember the one. Hey, we'll be back to pick you up later. Good looking. Do you remember that one?
I don't remember that one.
I mean, you don't remember that one.
Wasn't that like a radio, like a CB, not necessarily a CB radio, but
like a PA system.
Like you talked into a microphone. Right. Hey, baby, we'll be back
Mr.
to pick you up later. That's
it. Yeah.
Just like that. Never mind.
So
Alabama.
They're just basically extending the embargo that's already been in place. So there should not be any further disruptions basically out there, right? They're just continuing the embargo,
right?
Which the LTL markets took an embargo, in
that's
the Midwest earlier this year. Last year, a bunch of them took it, right? The restrictions are just coming I don't, we can continue to use the COVID as an excuse, but I think that's an easy cop out. There's just not capacity and you don't want to tie up your network.
Right.
You're literally picking and choosing what you want to do, despite kind of a soft economy that's going on and the freight being down a little bit, right? What I say, 4.1 a couple weeks ago. So 4.1%, but they're just continuing what they were doing.
And it may go back to what you're saying though, equipment too. If you can't get equipment back from the ports, then I mean, why send it? Right?
Yeah. Use it on other lanes that you can keep moving it.
Yeah.
Tell the ports to, I hate to say it, shove it. I don't know what you do.
It says divide. It says here, I pulled this up. We're divided into a dozen separate craft unions and subject to complex bargaining process. The 1926 Railroad Labor Act. It has become extremely rare for U.S. railroad workers to go on strike. Mm-hmm. The last such work stoppage was in 1991 and was brought to a swift end by Congress in less than 24 hours. So I thought that's why like FedEx was let into the Railroad Act, right? Mm-hmm. Was to stop the union from being able to do that. Cause like you're saying, I mean, that's massive disruption.
Right.
It's huge.
Well, they just came out.
Huge.
There was an ABC article that came out kind of to piggyback on that. A new rule to thwart, I can't say the word, thwart railroad efforts to cut train crews to one. So the railroad companies were trying to go down to one conductor on some of these lanes. And everything I've read is the background of that is to use them in the yards. Not necessarily that they don't have enough conductors, but they need the conductor manpower to help in their yards. I don't know if that means shuffling different ones around.
Imagine what a disaster that is working in one of those yards.
It says railroads will be required to maintain a 2-person crew under a new rule announced Wednesday that will throw out the industry's efforts to cut down crews to 1 person. Wow. So obviously, the railroad companies they're hurting.
Very much so, yeah.
We talked about that a long time ago. Remember we talked about the field in a team that they're not prepared. Remember we were talking about that, the field a team they weren't, and it's now hitting. They weren't prepared to field. They don't have a full team to play. So
and there's so much money in the railroad because it's so efficient, right? Mm-hmm. If you ever look at,
it's almost automated, right?
If you want to invest, think about it. Railroads have been around since day of time, right? That's the first thing they built. It's what every city was built on was the railroads. It's the only way to move things. So
and move people.
And it's
people,
more prevalent today than it was back then. It's going nowhere. Yeah, I mean, we talk about good stocks. I know you're a stock guy. Mm-hmm. The pensions and the everything else work for the railroad, you know?
Well, you know what? Man, you just...
But every American out there is like, I hate trains.
That's what I'm looking up to.
Always cross my train track every day at 8:57, and I'm supposed to be at work at 9, and I have yet to figure out how to wake up and cross that railroad track at 8:50.
Right. Yeah. It's the railroad's fault that you can't get to getting on time. So
get to getting.
That's right.
It looks like they're...
It's not as much as I thought.
Well, you looked that up. Breaking news. Breaking news. Over in London. Maybe we're a couple hours. The railroad goes on strike, 24-hour shutdown, and it's causing disruptions with the people trying to get to their football game today.
Oh wait, that's not.
What was that?
It was a fake news.
Oh yes,
it's a fake. It's a fake intro.
It's the Tony B virus.
Oh
my goodness.
We got Tim's got breaking news. Yeah.
We're going to get there.
Timmy!
No, it's just, I mean, literally, I'm trying to read
this
through
is in England? So they're going...
The Guardian just posted 33 minutes ago. Rail strikes. Union accuses Grant Shapps of lying about negotiations as millions face disruption. Live. Head of ASLAF says Transport Secretary misrepresenting the truth after the claim union was dragging the feet in pay talks. So, in here it says that people trying to get to the big football game today don't have a ride. Because, I mean, UK's huge on that, right?
That's
so they're on
war, man.
His role to protect the public purse, ensuring value for the money for the hardworking people of this country. There's... workers to strike from Sunday. So Hitachi rail workers will strike 3 days from Sunday in a row over pay and conditions.
Wow.
So it's all overseas. It's a global issue.
It is a global issue.
Railroads speak, man. So they're not going to get to the old Manchester game today, it sounds like.
Dang it.
Going to be a little crowded.
So we're not the only ones that's going through some railroad issues. You know, it's nation. That's worldwide.
So,
We're breaking worldwide news over here.
There is a soccer bar downtown Indy I would like to catch a game at someday. Just when there's a big game going on, I bet that place is packed.
You better learn the cheers.
That's right.
They are all about the organized cheers in the football world.
And I don't have a scarf, so I don't know.
We're going to have to get you. They don't call them scarves, do they? What do they call them?
Oh, I don't know. They have
a unique
soccer.
It's a hanky, mate.
It's a hanky, mate. So, there you go. That's just happened 30 minutes ago. And here we are talking about our railroads and the embargoes and the port talks and everything else going on with that stuff.
No, thanks, Tim. That's
Roughneck Scarves. I see scarf. I don't know. The scarf was becoming technical difficulties. A little
they won't hear that. They should.
It looks like they call them scarves.
Yeah. Shields. All right, so
I bet it's probably need one over there. It's as cool as the climate is, or whatever. It's probably, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
I never liked playing soccer in the cold. This was one I did not like. The rain I didn't mind. Actually, I liked the rain because when you'd slide tackle somebody, you would just slide for like 10 miles past them. So you had to make sure you made the tackle properly to make sure because there was no recovery if you missed it.
Have either of you been to an Indy 11 game?
Yes.
I have also.
what?
Indy 11.
Indy 11, our minor league soccer league team.
I don't get into soccer. Sorry,
But I like the fandom. The fandom, even at
crowds
an
are
Indy,
huge.
even at an Indy 11 game, the fandom is. I like it. They're
Yeah.
all intense and into it.
It's a pretty big following, but people in America don't understand how big soccer really is worldwide.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah,
Right.
It
All
makes
right.
our football look stupid,
Mm-hmm.
and our fans look weak.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. So then their last little topic here was U.S. economy. It's lagging.
It's a lagging.
Lagging.
Where is it lagging the most?
The economy.
Yeah, we've hit 2 quarters in a row with negative GDP, which technically means we're in a recession. Although doesn't seem to be as heavy and severe. But you guys know who Michael Berry is?
No.
He's the guy. Do you know Tim?
No.
He predicted the 08 crash,
Okay.
housing bubble.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying, get ready to hold on to your pants because it's coming again. So not the housing thing, but he thinks the economy is going to go down another 30, 40%.
30 to 40%.
That's what he says. Yeah. It's got another 30, 40% drop. The stock market, he says, which is, you think about it, that's kind of scary, but he could be wrong. I mean, some don't think that, right?
Are there indications for this? I mean, what
the 2 quarters in a row of negative GDP typically initiates that, the thought process. That's every economist throughout our history has determined that if you go 2 quarters in a row of negative GDP, then that's some form of a recession.
Okay.
But we've kind of alluded that that's kind of where we're going, right? You see it first in freight.
Yeah, right.
You can kind of predict the economy on the freight, the capacity, the shipments, the volumes, the tonnage,
Right.
What carriers are doing. Heck, I mean, David B probably sees it every day with just rates on truckloads with the different capacities.
So it's went back up. Surprisingly, it took a nice jump this week. And when I say jump, I mean like $500 a load jump. And I'm like, where is this coming
it's
from?
end of the month. End of the month gets tight. You're going to try to get all your budget done, right?
Yep.
I mean, some of those purchasing managers are like, okay, I got to spend this or I lose it. I'm like, so, but we've talked about there's a lot of everyone for 2 years have been ordering triple to quadruple, whatever they can get their hands on. So it's sitting in warehouses to go to consumers.
Right. Yeah. And I saw a story earlier this week where Walmart is trying to get rid of a lot of their inventory that they overly bought on. I don't remember specifically what the item was, but they're trying to, get rid of a lot of their inventory that they over purchased on.
I think I heard something about that.
Probably toilet paper.
No such thing.
Yeah, amen. Yeah, there could never be an overage of toilet paper.
Not at my house.
That's right.
I don't know if I ever told you guys this story or not, but you guys remember those little fidget spinners probably about 3 years, 4 years ago?
Huge. I bought one.
Absolutely crazy. Who didn't have one, right? I mean, I remember our kids coming to us and saying, I got to have a fidget spinner. Yes, it helps me concentrate. I'm like, no, shut up and sit there and learn, but of course we bought them. But there's a customer local, huge customer that they made over $1 million purchase of fidget spinners from China. And the container, okay, they're all on one container. Yeah, you can fit that many fidget spinners on there. Got in 1 month. They got the inventory 1 month after the fad had basically started whistling out.
Because it was a fad, yeah.
It was. It lasted for about maybe a year, right?
Right.
Maybe carried 14 months. They got it right at a year. They were sitting on those in their warehouse. So they're paying to store these things. They were trying to sell them by the Gaylords. And there was 100,000 in these gas stations because they do a lot for gas stations and all the different stuff. You spend stupid money at a gas station where they make all their money. Mm-hmm. They're trying to sell the whole Gaylord just for $100.
Wow.
Right. Mm. So there had to be 100,000 of these fidget spinners in a Gaylord. Think about it. I mean, I'm just guessing for just $100.
Wow.
Plus shipping. Right. So, I mean, $300 and the gas stations at the time were getting, $9, $10, $12 a fidget spinner.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you're like, yeah, but no one was buying them. They were just sitting on shelves. They ended up throwing them away. They had to bring in dumpsters and pay to throw all those away. That was 2018 or 19.
What can the three of us come up with and a little fad thing and know that it's just a fad and get out of it quick?
Yeah. Just make your money and go. But could you imagine being the purchasing manager for that? Could you imagine being the person on the shipping that didn't want to pay the extra $600 to move it with somebody else?
Your question should be, could you imagine the fired purchasing manager he thinks about that?
Yeah.
I don't encourage anyone to lose their job.
That guy asked me yesterday if I wanted fries with that.
No cheeseburgers.
Yes.
No hamburgers, cheeseburgers.
Yes. No hamburgers at McDonald's.
Yeah,
so every time I go to this business, that's the only thing I can think of. How are you guys still in business to start with? And how bad are you bending me over whenever I do buy something stupid like that at the gas station?
Oh yeah.
I wonder the markup's probably 100%, 1,000%.
Yeah.
4,000%.
They paid 2 pennies for each of these, right? Yeah. But I just think, first off, you got to pay to get it over. Can't sell to some bitches. Then you got to pay to get rid of them.
I feel like I'm at Walmart when I'm, when you're at Walmart and you walk by the videotape bin, you're like, who the hell still buys that shit? But they still got a big Gaylord full of CDs or whatever.
CDs or VHSs.
Movies and stuff. Yeah. VHSs. And who does that?
Yeah.
Somebody might.
It's cheaper for them to try to put it on clearance than to try to ship it back to anything.
Well,
or resell it to someone and buy it in bulk.
Speaking of that, there's a large sports supplier of national championship shirts and stuff in town here, right? And so one year I was scrolling through National Geographic or something, and I saw some kid in a poor country that had had the winner, the opposite, the team that didn't win the championship.
Right.
So I went back and I was like, hey man, how does that happen? He goes, well, that's where we send all the shirts. He goes, we make X amount in case they win. But we don't know.
They're doing a double order at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yep. And he goes, so we're not allowed to sell those in America. So we send them. I go, but did these people know that the team didn't win? He goes, well, I don't know about that.
It's a shirt. Right. Believe it or not, it means a lot to them.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that.
Is that a tax write-off? Is that a donation?
I don't know. Probably is. I bet it is.
I think Tim's right. It's probably a donation, a tax write-off.
There's always loopholes. Yeah. They're not going to just burn through that.
And I was like, wow, man, really? They had the one was the Jazz. Utah Jazz won the NBA championship.
When Jordan hit the fadeaway.
He's got a shirt like this in National Geographic. I'm like, no, they didn't win. Or did they? It's like, what country am I in?
Yeah.
It's kind of a unique piece of history to have. You own something that was ass backwards like that.
Imagine that would probably sell in America, right? In Utah, they'd buy that.
So somewhere in the year 2000, there was an Indiana Pacer championship shirt somewhere in Africa or whatever. That's the year the Lakers beat the Pacers.
I know. I went to one of those games. That was an interesting.
Just thinking out loud.
That's back when I shaved my head. I was part of the team. You didn't know that? Razor to the dome piece.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What year was this?
2000.
Lakers beat the.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Was Reggie still with them?
No, it was in between the Jordans. It was 96.
Oh.
Yeah, look it up. And here's why I know. So we went to a game. My dad bought us tickets. He could only get 2 tickets and 1 ticket for the 3 of us to go.
Commodore 64 back.
So my dad's like, your brother. I think my brother was like 12. I think my brother was 12 or 13, and I was 9 or 10. And so my brother and I was like, okay, yeah, we'll be fine. We've been to many games. We could go to the Colts games and all that. And then my dad was on the complete opposite side of the stadium. Back then, it was a brand new Casico Fieldhouse, whatever it is today. Ruoff, I don't even know what it is. What's the new one?
Gainbridge.
Is Gainbridge the newest one?
Yes.
Okay. So we go in and we go to sit in our seats. We had seats 9 and 10. It was split. The soundboard dude was in between our 2 seats. You know how big that sound booth is? Yeah. So we're lower level, right?
Yeah.
And my dad thought the whole time we were sitting there. So I'm like, well, it made no sense for them to number those 9 and then 10. You think it'd be 9 and then whatever would match on the other side, 22.
Yeah.
But they made them seats 9 and 10 on that row. So my brother had to walk around, go to the other side. We go, he gave us like $20. So we got something at halftime. We didn't even see him. We get done with the game. He's like, yeah, great game, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, everything okay around you guys? We're like, yeah, we just had to give air fives. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, the sound booth was right in between both of us. And he felt so bad as a parent because I was 8 or 9 years old, you know?
Yeah.
I think I was in 5th grade when we went.
Thanks, Dad.
That's probably a good experience, though.
But no, I had no problem with it. We loved it. You know, I was like, you don't need to worry. We're good. You know what I mean? I got to go to a championship game. I'm all in, man.
That's incredible.
Right. Yeah.
You looking it up when they won?
My Commodore 64 is starting up. So,
well, David,
I'm almost 100% positive.
I thought about you.
I gotta look this up.
Can you watch YouTube videos on that computer? Because what they had was
I watched our YouTube videos of our show. So never mind. That was a pre-show.
Yeah. Well,
it was the 2000.
Boom, in your face, Flanders.
Oh man.
In your face.
Damn, I felt like I was like 12.
Flanders.
So,
looking at the cheerleaders. That's the only. that's the only time the NBA Pacers have made it to a championship.
Yeah. So they had to face Michael Jordan the whole time for Reggie's career. Then they run into Shaq and Kobe. It's just not. Right. It's not right.
Yep. But it's going to be a long time before they get good again. So.
They just had like 92. Oh, no, it was the WNBA. There was a FIFA that had all those picks. But they got the dude from Arizona, number 5.
Mathurin.
And then they just made a big trade offer for the dude out of the Suns. Try to offer him, $140 million?
Yeah, but the Suns matched that.
Did they? And he stayed?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I ain't mad at him. Although it's 118 degrees down there in Arizona right now. So.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit. I think they've got a good base, but it's
here,
just going
Dave.
To be a while.
Is this what your computer sounds like when you fire it up? Listen, listen.
I hear it.
Here. Is that what it sounds?
No.
So look, David, you made me think that this guy actually got a Commodore 64,
right,
to run YouTube videos. Is that amazing?
No.
What are we listening in the headphones right now?
This is YouTube, watching YouTube on a Commodore PET computer.
Like Commodore PET computer?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing as a 64.
Okay.
But essentially, this brilliant guy, this video popped up the other day.
Is he brilliant? What's brilliant? That
he re-engineered this Commodore 64 computer to run YouTube videos, and I'm like, what? Who would think of that? Why?
Right?
Why would you do that?
Let me guess, he's not married. Or just guess. Just a guess.
How do you have that much time on your hands?
Right.
I don't know, but I mean,
to each his own,
it's
man.
Amazing. But anyways, you made me think of that when you mentioned that.
You stole. I was going to tell the joke about David's laptop being on casters to get it in here.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, we
Exactly.
Well, that's all right.
I got here 10 minutes early so I could at least get the thing turned on and boot it up.
Tony had to bring out of the luggage cart to just move it onto it.
So
Oh man, hey, that's funny. That's funny.
I've got one random thought. I don't know if you guys are.
Ship's going to happen. You never know. Boy.
That's
We've
right.
been all over the board today, haven't we?
It is all over.
Hey, if you're the person up there in Des Moines listening to us, and that's your mega
Displays.
millions, and you need
Boom.
hey, and you need someone to just entertain you for a little bit, give me a call.
There we go. We do need to get that Rich Warren little.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm gonna get. I know we
Just
do.
saying- just saying
No,
out loud.
you're right.
Let's hit random thoughts before y'all get off track here.
Yes, I'm
You
gonna
got a
forget.
bunch? You
I'm
only
gonna
got one?
forget. What's that?
You only got one?
For right now, I only have one.
All right, then.
This was a pre-show random thought too. So
Okay, let me pull that up, fellas.
The old random thoughts.
I am. I'm debating on whether I buy my avocados Thursday or I buy them Friday morning on the 12th. So
What would Timmy D do?
I'm actually going to take that day off of work. That is so not like me. I'm going to take that day off work.
Man, he's feeling a little pressure this year, I think.
Well, it's the sleep thing that I'm having.
That's right.
Completely failed miserably on sleep yesterday, so I need for a sleep thing. It's just going to be a long day.
Timmy D's
I have
applying
dinner
pressure.
I have dinner afterward out with other people. So I'm
What, that Friday night you do?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, David
All right,
B.
so anyway, our producer Tony has on a Dunder Mifflin shirt, and so from the TV show The Office. So it got me to thinking, in my office, I think if I could have just one of those people from that show in my office, I think Kevin would have to be
Kevin.
I mean, because he brings it's his humor, unintentional humor, but he brings just the humor that he brings, just, with his, bringing in his chili or doing whatever. I mean, if you guys had somebody to choose from the office to work in your office, is there somebody that you guys would prefer or pick?
Oh, I don't watch The Office. The middle boy loves The Office. Baby mama loves The Office.
Okay.
I'm not a big TV show watcher, so I've got
me
nothing
either.
on The Office, so I don't even know who's in it, what it is. I've probably seen 2 or 3 episodes, so I'm going to skip right over that. Although anyone with good humor is always more than welcome in my office.
Yeah.
And a person that shows up to work and actually works.
Boom. Well
So
said.
that's all I've got.
I may not. No one may qualify on that show, right?
Like would we qualify? Just wondering
I
out
think
loud.
we qualify for being in
to
Tim's.
be in there.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, would we fit in their little setting, I guess?
No, we'd get pissed off. We'd end up hurting somebody.
I'm
So
mad.
what is The Office based off of? Just the office setting?
It's a
Is there a
corporate thing.
business?
Yeah.
It's a paper company based out of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Scranton?
Taken from Europe, in
England.
okay.
Yeah,
English
Ricky
version of the show.
Ricky Gervais, comedian.
Ricky Gervais.
I don't know any of these. You guys don't understand. I don't have brain cells to waste on this stuff.
Yeah.
So
He's hilarious.
I don't know who that is.
Ricky Gervais?
Yeah, I mean, I know who the name, but I don't know like anything about him. I mean, I only So anyway,
when was the Office out? Was the Office out late 90s, early 2000s, or all 2000s?
it's a good question. I'm not sure.
I know it was pretty.
I'm gonna
it was
guess
a big time series.
Mid 2000s is what I'm gonna guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Period.
So, lots of big celebrities here tonight. I
That's
mean,
Ricky.
Oh,
Ricky
I know who
Gervais.
he is.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
David alone. Al Pacino.
Oh, is this the Emmys or whatever? He just went off.
Yeah. I loved it. It was classic. Get your award and go home. Anyways, we'll stop that.
So
Sorry.
can you? Anyway,
What do you want?
Let's
No,
get
talk to
down
me. Talk to
do
me.
the Kevin something out of Kevin on The Office. I don't know if we can do that or not.
Oh yeah, absolutely, brother.
Thanks to Bellows Bartok with the music giving us a flow here.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
David B's going to go see him live in person
Later.
coming up in a couple weeks, 3-4 weeks.
Yep.
David
I got
B's
a hell of a deal on a car rental.
Oh,
rate.
yeah,
So
yeah.
a few weeks ago, about a month ago or 2 months ago, when I knew I was going to do this, I'm like, let me look at renting a car. So the car at the time was about $110 a day. I'm like, I'm not spending $110 a day on a rental car. Screw that. So Timmy D actually the other day brought it up because if you check car rental prices lately, I go, no, but I'll check. And so on his advice, I did. And so now I can get one for about $60 a day. So
how'd you know that, Tim?
I looked at renting one, I think when we're going to Nashville or something, but I drive a truck. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to drive 500 miles, there's only a couple people in the vehicle. There's no need to drive my truck and put all the miles on it.
Right.
And so I just started looking to see. And so I did the math on like gas mileage. So I had to have the vehicle to make up the difference in gas mileage. I need the vehicle to be under $42 a day. And the gas alone would make up the price difference. Does that make sense?
It does.
So I was really down. I'm weird about doing numbers that way, and I've always been that way. It's like, well, so how much does this cost me if I own this thing for 10 years? It's like a kegerator. I'm like, so I gotta on beer, it gets 180 beers. You're really gonna get 160 out of that. Do the math per beer. Now kegs are outrageous. They're $120 damn dollars. Wow. I was buying kegs for $50 when I bought that thing.
Wow.
I had to go, so that they've gone up to 65 on this side of town, east side of town. And I grew up on the west side, and there was a liquor store that still held them for $52. I remember I was upset when they went up to 57. Back then, every penny. So that couple of dollars made a difference.
Right. Does the liquor store fill the kegs up, or is that brought to them like that?
It's filled. So you exchange them. You got to pay for the barrel.
Like the propane.
Okay.
Yep, like the propane tanks. That's what it is. So I actually owned a keg. Somehow, like, they didn't charge me a deposit fee, and I kept it. So I never had to because I could just exchange my keg, and they just thought I always had the deposit floating. Oh. So I always did. I haven't used that keg in years.
Can you fill a keg? Can you fill a keg at home?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, you brew your own beer. They have that. It's pressured where they have the thing that goes on there and clamps on and push it back in there for your homebrew kits.
Okay. Home explosion in New Pal, Indiana. Details at 6.
But my kegerator, I had a bachelor party. I hosted a bachelor party, and I bought it. It's just a real kegerator.
Fire in New Pal.
But the craft beer he wanted from Sun King, local brewery here, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
On the bottom of their kegs, they have a big old orange rubber thing, seal on it type deal. It was too big to fit in my actual kegerator. So I had to cut the door off, the plastic, and I had to cut some of the insulation out on the front of the door so that it would fit and I could close the door. And now it like rusts because it's stainless steel on the front because of all the moisture from inside the fridge where I cut the insulation out.
Damn.
And I'm like, all for one damn bachelor party. That's the last keg I've had in that son of a bitch too.
The last words you heard were, oh shit, and then a big
we had a good time though.
The trick is to undercook the
Kevin.
onions.
It's chili.
Everybody is
This
going
is
to get
David
to know
B's
each other
number
in the
one
pot.
pick.
If I had somebody to be in the
Serious about this
office,
stuff.
He just
you
spilled.
got to show
The night before,
Tim the
pressing garlic and dicing whole tomatoes. I toast my own.
Oh yeah, I know who he is.
Look, he's sweeping it up off
It's
the
a
carpet.
recipe passed down from Malone.
That's what David B does with his guacamole.
Damn.
Oh man.
there was a
to Kevin.
No, which one's Kevin?
I feel like maybe I look like Kevin a little bit.
there was a one of these
Nobody knows who he is.
one of these clips. He's
He got a hair wig. Look. He got a
Nope.
toupee.
this is hilarious.
It's not Ashton Kutcher. It's Kevin Malone. Equally handsome, equally smart.
Accounting department, listen up. Holly,
Yeah,
human
maybe that's
Equally smart.
the best clip there.
Kevin Malone. It's not Ashton Kutcher. It's Kevin Malone.
His wig is just ridiculous.
And the way he says Ashton Kutcher.
accounting department, listen up. Holly, human resources. Angela, Oscar, and Kevin.
Hello, hello. Hi.
She thinks Kevin's slow.
What do
All right, boom.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So Oscar that sits next to him, Oscar bats for the same team, and so there was somebody had made a comment about. He goes. He told everybody sitting around him. He goes, like Kevin says something about like don't be a pervert. He goes like, no offense, Oscar, because he thinks that.
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. All right, what else we got today, boys? On the Ship's Gonna Happen.
Man, that's all I had today.
Good day for a Jeep drive.
Oh yeah, Dave D's going on a Jeep ride.
Going for a cruise.
Timmy D, what are you doing today?
I'm gonna go do some target practicing out there.
And today is also taco day. So tacos at home are always better than any taco you can get out in a normal Mexican restaurant or
are you
Taco
doing
Bell
like
especially.
chicken and steak tacos, or are you doing like just beef, ground beef?
Yeah. Yep.
Today's Taco Day at your house or Taco Day?
Taco Day.
in
Yeah.
America?
What time's that?
I'm not sure. I got in trouble because it wasn't yesterday. I thought we were doing tacos today. I'm like, no.
I'm gonna send
not
you
gonna
that.
be home.
In trouble.
I'm gonna send you that. I'll be sitting on your back patio with that. I'm gonna send you that Daffy Duck waiting on you with the beef.
Dave's in taco prison.
We have tacos every day at our house. I bet we have tacos 3 times a week.
But they're always better home cooked, at least in my opinion.
I think so too.
You know, definitely better than Taco Bell.
Did I tell you about the Taco Bell and the grade of beef? Did I tell you guys that last week?
It's a DB. Is it anyway?
So there's and I learned this from a colleague up that works in Canada. In his Providence, they will not allow a Taco Bell to open up because of the grade of beef. They're grade F beef.
What's that mean?
Not grade A.
Not
Just
grade A.
like our report cards, or at least my report card.
So they're grade F. You know, you can buy like grade A steak or whatever.
That's good to know.
So, and I love Taco Bell. No knock on them. I'll eat Taco Bell all day long, but they won't allow it. The government will not allow it because the grade of the beef.
That's my 1
Isn't
a.m.
that scary?
That's my 1 a.m. stop in Lebanon. I always say good morning, and they're like, what? I'm like, it's morning. 1 a.m. morning.
You got to be kidding me, right?
Yeah, no, it's legit, man. Grade F beef at Taco Bell, apparently.
We never give out bad information on this show.
It won't stop me at 2 o'clock in the morning to stop by.
Yep.
You ever had an Uber driver stop you by to get food on the way home?
No.
You've never stopped?
No, but I have had multiple Uber drivers stop to get gas.
While you're in the car?
Not only while I'm in the car, immediately after I get picked up. Couldn't you have done that before? Couldn't you have done that before you got me? And I had a guy the other day on the way back from Indy going to Lebanon, but as soon as we got in Lebanon, put gas in his car and put 1 gallon in. What sense does that make?
Really?
What sense?
Wonder why he did that.
Depends on what car. Could have got him another 20 to 40 miles.
I'm gonna guess. My guesstimate is that he was expecting me to help, like
pay for the gas.
Yeah, I'm like already given. I'm just guessing. I don't know this to be a fact, but why would you only put 1 gallon in, and then emphasize that I'm only going to put in 1 gallon?
Well, at $6 a gallon,
right, right.
Oh my God. So
But anyway,
maybe it was his wife's car and he was just trying to get home. That was just
there we
enough to
go.
get home.
Yeah, that makes sense.
carcasses are stratified into 5 major groups based on estimated age of the live animal.
Tony's concentrating on this one.
Yeah,
He's concerned about the Taco Bell grade beef of F.
grade A.
There's no one does grade A out there. I can tell you that.
And then
Oh,
tomorrow's
like the hamburger meat. It's not grade A.
No, you can buy it at the grocery, but the fast food ain't going to spend the money.
Yeah, right. So where are they getting their hamburger then?
not Canada.
They're buying all the scraps that you're not buying.
I don't think you want to know that, Tony.
What do you think Taco Bell gets
I don't
pound
eat
of
Taco
meat,
Bell.
a pound of ground beef? What do you think Taco Bell pays?
A
per
pound of ground beef.
Right now here locally,
I'm gonna guess
you get it for
$2.
$4 to $6 a pound.
I'm gonna guess $2.
You think $2 a pound?
I'm gonna
Like 10
guess.
cents.
Yeah, I was thinking closer to the 40 to 50 cents a pound.
Because they're buying it in bulk.
Well, how many pounds of meat are they going through a month?
And apparently they're buying grade D.
Well, how many?
F.
So F, whatever. It's
Like I
like,
said, my report card F.
man.
You can't even buy it
Failed.
because the grocery store don't want you to consume
Jesus
it.
Christ.
That's right.
It's like, man. Anyway.
And then tomorrow's
That's interesting.
Tomorrow's a pork butt, so we're gonna do a
Oh.
pork butt in the slow cooker.
I just stay all night then.
So
That sounds like a good party to me.
Tracy's always been a good cook, but I always prefer, like, I always think I'm a little bit better, but on these pork butts, she comes through on that.
Yeah,
So-
you
so
roast it
awesome.
or you got like a smoker?
Slow cooker.
Oh, a slow cooker.
Slow cooking.
Slow cooking.
Is it- so is it-
Take
will you pull
it's
it
an
when it's
8 hour.
done?
It just falls apart. We have these the shears thing that you just dig into it, like grind it all up.
The Wolverine
So,
spikes.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, here in a couple weeks, this will be the last week on the Taj Mahal building. You guys have to come over and check her out.
It looked good I was over there last Saturday.
Mini
It looked
Sears
good,
Tower.
so
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
coming. It's coming along. So
He's got the neighbors checking in on him, making sure he's doing it right.
apparently, one of the neighbors. So I call it the $1 Million House across the street. Of course, we
a
live
nice
next to
house.
the beautiful. I mean, this thing is unbelievable. I guess Baby Mama was chit chatting it up with him on Thursday when I was at golf league. He had come over and talking and all that, and oh my gosh, you're gonna love my wife if you guys. I'm like, I don't need people come over checking it out. I just want to sit here and drink a beer. Mm-hmm.
Leave me be.
But we kind of feel, I don't know. We talked about maybe doing like a fall, get like a wine truck or something over there and invite people to come and stop by. And
It's a good idea.
Introduce to the community,
There we
the
go.
neighborhood. So
There we go.
anyway, ship's gonna happen. That's all I know.
In addition to the Halloween, or in
addition, yeah,
I
it'd be
got
more
you.
of a late summer type deal.
When's that guac off again?
It's Friday, August the 12th at the Great Divide.
Oh,
so
my
it
God.
goes to benefit the Indiana Blind Children's Foundation. If you can't make it and want to donate, please go to indianabcf.org and you can make a contribution through there.
Nice. And Timmy D's already positioning himself to pole position in the guac off.
Yeah, well, he's already in pole position.
Yeah, he
he's
is,
the returning
right?
champ. so-
Three-peat. That's what
Yeah.
we got to come up with this shirt. Guac-peat. Guac
There's no
three-peat.
way I get a 3-peat. No way.
Guac three-peat. And according to Chris and Dave, you're going down. There might be
It
some.
won't be by theirs though. But
Boom.
There might be some.
We have some new ones coming in, so
Well, there might be some. There might be some backdoor Detroit, Chicago vote counting going on.
after the polls close, I'll leave. You're the champion. I'll get a call Saturday morning. By the way,
It's a recount.
yes, recount.
all right.
You folks have a good weekend.
Yeah, you guys do the same.
Appreciate it. Ship's gonna happen out.